What if everything you thought you knew about sugar was wrong? For years, we've been told that high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, is the ultimate villain, while cane sugar gets a free pass as the natural sweetener. But here's the twist. Your body can't even tell the difference between the two. Shocking, right? The real culprit behind your weight gain isn't the type of sugar you're consuming. It's how much of it sneaks into your diet every single day. And the worst part? It's hiding in plain sight, from your favorite sodas to those healthy granola bars. Here's the kicker. Sugary drinks and snacks are designed to keep you coming back for more. They don't fill you up, they don't satisfy your hunger, and they're packed with empty calories that quietly pile on the pounds. But what if I told you there's a simple way to break free from this cycle? A way to stop the weight gain in its tracks without giving up sweetness altogether? It's not about cutting sugar completely. It's about understanding the real problem and making smarter choices. Curious? You should be. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to uncover the truth about HFCS, cane sugar, and the hidden reason you're struggling to lose weight. And more importantly, you'll learn exactly how to take control of your health, starting today. Ready to dive in? High fructose corn syrup, or HFCS, might sound like something out of a science lab, but it's actually a sweetener derived from something as ordinary as corn. The process? It's fascinating. Cornstarch is broken down into glucose, and then, through a clever enzyme trick called glucose isomerase, part of that glucose is converted into fructose. The result is a versatile sweetener that comes in two main forms: HFCS 42, which contains 42% fructose and is often used in baked goods, and HFCS 55, with 55% fructose, the go-to for sodas and other sugary drinks. Think of it as the secret ingredient behind the sweetness of your favorite soft drink. Now, here's where things get interesting. HFCS is often compared to cane sugar, or sucrose, which is made up of 50% glucose and 50% fructose. The key difference? In sucrose, the glucose and fructose are chemically bonded, while in HFCS, they're free-floating. But here's the kicker. Once they hit your digestive system, your body breaks sucrose down into glucose and fructose anyway, making it nearly identical to HFCS. So whether you're sipping a soda sweetened with HFCS or one with cane sugar, your body doesn't really care. It processes them in almost the same way. Still, HFCS has earned a bit of a bad reputation over the years. Why? It's not because it's inherently worse than sugar, but because it's everywhere. From sodas to salad dressings, HFCS sneaks into countless processed foods, making it easy to overconsume. And let's be honest, when was the last time you stopped at just one cookie or one sip of soda? But hold that thought. There's more to uncover about how HFCS and sugar compare when it comes to your metabolism. Here's a surprising truth. Your body doesn't really care whether you're consuming high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, or cane sugar, sucrose. Sounds shocking, right? But science backs this up. Meta-analyses of 20 randomized controlled trials have shown that HFCS and sucrose have nearly identical effects on your body. Researchers examined key health markers like weight gain, triglycerides, insulin sensitivity, and even inflammation. And guess what? The results were virtually the same. That extra 5% of fructose in HFCS 55, it's not enough to make a meaningful difference in how your body processes it. Let's break it down further. Both HFCS and sucrose are metabolized into glucose and fructose, which your body uses for energy or stores as fat when consumed in excess. Whether you're drinking a soda sweetened with HFCS or one with cane sugar, the metabolic impact is almost identical. So, if you've been avoiding HFCS thinking it's the worst sugar, you might want to reconsider. The real issue isn't the type of sugar, it's how much of it you're consuming. But here's the catch. Perception matters. HFCS has been demonized in the media, while cane sugar often gets a free pass, especially when marketed as natural. Yet, when it comes to your metabolism, there's no magical difference. HFCS has been painted as the bad guy in the world of sweeteners. But is it really the villain it's made out to be? The truth is, the problem isn't HFCS itself. It's how much of it people consume, especially in sugary drinks. Think about it. A single can of soda packs around 150 calories, but does it leave you feeling full? Not at all. Sugary beverages, whether sweetened with HFCS or cane sugar, don't trigger the same satiety signals as solid foods, making it easy to overdo it without even realizing. It's not the sugar, it's the sneaky calories that add up. Now, here's where things get tricky. HFCS is often associated with processed foods, which already have a bad reputation for being unhealthy. Combine that with clever marketing that labels cane sugar as natural, and suddenly HFCS becomes the scapegoat. But let's be real. Whether it's HFCS or sucrose, the metabolic effects are nearly identical. The real issue lies in the sheer volume of sugary products we consume, not the type of sugar used to sweeten them. So why does this matter? Because focusing on HFCS as the enemy distracts from the bigger picture, the overconsumption of liquid calories. The next time you reach for a sugary drink, consider this. Are you really thirsty, or is it just a habit? And more importantly, what happens when these liquid sugars start piling up in your system? Here's the thing about sugary drinks, they're sneaky. You sip on a soda or a sweetened iced tea, and before you know it, you've consumed hundreds of calories without even feeling full. That's the real danger of liquid sugars. They don't satisfy hunger the way solid foods do. Over time, this can lead to a calorie surplus, which your body happily stores as fat. And it's not just about gaining a few extra pounds. Excessive sugar intake is linked to elevated triglycerides, fatty liver, also known as hepatic steatosis, and even reduced insulin sensitivity, which can pave the way to type 2 diabetes. What's even more alarming is how quickly these effects can add up. Imagine drinking just one sugary beverage a day, say a 20-ounce soda. That's roughly 200 calories. Over a week, that's 1,400 calories, or almost half a pound of potential weight gain. And if you're pairing that with other calorie-dense foods, the impact multiplies. Whether the drink is sweetened with HFCS or cane sugar, the metabolic consequences are the same when consumed in excess. The problem isn't the sweetener, it's the habit of consuming these empty calories regularly. But here's the good news. Awareness is the first step toward change. By swapping sugary drinks for water, unsweetened tea, or even diet sodas, you can cut out hundreds of unnecessary calories without feeling deprived. The question is, if the damage isn't about the type of sugar, could it be about how we perceive certain ingredients? Fructose often gets a bad reputation, but let's take a closer look. It's not as black and white as people think. Did you know that fructose has a remarkably low glycemic index, around 20? This means it raises blood sugar levels much more slowly than other carbohydrates, like white bread or even brown rice. In fact, small amounts of fructose can actually help stabilize blood sugar after meals by reducing glucose spikes. So, in moderation, fructose isn't the monster it's made out to be. It's all about balance. The real issue arises when fructose is consumed in excess, especially in the form of sugary drinks or processed foods. Chronic overconsumption can lead to increased fat storage, particularly in the liver, which is a risk factor for metabolic disorders. But here's the kicker. This isn't unique to fructose. Any sugar, when consumed in large amounts, can have similar effects. So blaming fructose alone for weight gain or health issues misses the bigger picture. It's the overall calorie surplus that matters most. So what does this mean for you? It's not about cutting fructose out entirely. It's about being mindful of where it's coming from. A piece of fruit, for example, is a fantastic source of natural fructose, fiber, and nutrients. But a large soda? That's where the trouble begins. And speaking of perceptions, have you ever wondered why cane sugar is seen as better than HFCS? Here's a little secret. The idea that cane sugar is somehow healthier than high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, is nothing more than a clever marketing ploy. Food companies know that terms like natural or pure cane sugar sound more appealing to consumers, but metabolically speaking, there's no meaningful difference. Both HFCS and cane sugar are broken down into glucose and fructose in your body, and they're processed in almost identical ways. So whether you're eating a cookie made with HFCS or one made with cane sugar, your body treats them the same. This marketing strategy plays on emotions rather than facts. Think about it. How often do you see products proudly labeled "made with real sugar," as if that magically makes them better for you? It's a psychological trick designed to make you feel good about your choices, even though the health impact is virtually the same. The truth is, swapping HFCS for cane sugar in a product doesn't make it any less sugary or caloric. It's just a different label on the same metabolic story. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't be fooled by the hype. Instead of focusing on whether a product contains HFCS or cane sugar, look at the bigger picture. How much sugar are you consuming overall? And if you're looking for a real solution, what about cutting down on sugar altogether? That's where non-caloric sweeteners come into play. If cutting back on sugar feels like an impossible task, here's some good news. Non-caloric sweeteners, like sucralose, can be a game changer. These sweeteners provide the sweetness you crave without the calories or the metabolic consequences of sugar. Imagine swapping your 2 daily sodas for their diet versions. That simple change could eliminate around 1,000 calories a week. Enough to kickstart weight loss without any drastic lifestyle overhauls. It's a small shift with a big payoff. But the benefits don't stop at weight loss. Studies show that replacing sugar with non-caloric sweeteners can improve metabolic health, reducing fat accumulation in the liver and lowering the risk of conditions like type 2 diabetes. And no, despite the myths, sucralose doesn't harm your gut microbiota or spike your blood sugar. In fact, it's one of the most researched sweeteners out there, with a solid track record of safety. So if you've been hesitant to try diet drinks or sugar-free options, it might be time to reconsider. Of course, the key is moderation. Non-caloric sweeteners aren't a free pass to overindulge in processed foods, but they can be a powerful tool for cutting down on excess calories. So, why not start small? Swap your sugary coffee creamer for a sugar-free version, or try a diet soda instead of the regular kind. And speaking of excess calories, let's tackle the real villain behind weight gain in the next section. Here's the hard truth. It's not HFCS, cane sugar, or even fructose that's sabotaging your health. It's the sheer number of calories you're consuming. Whether those calories come from HFCS sweetened sodas, cane sugar desserts, or any other sugary treat, your body processes them the same way. And when you consistently consume more calories than your body needs, the result is weight gain, increased fat storage, and a higher risk of metabolic issues like fatty liver and insulin resistance. The type of sugar is just a distraction from the bigger problem. Think about it. Sugary drinks are one of the easiest ways to rack up excess calories without even noticing. A single 20-ounce soda contains roughly 200 calories, and because it doesn't fill you up, you're likely to eat just as much food as you would without it. Multiply that by a few drinks a week, and you've got a recipe for calorie overload. The solution? It's simpler than you think. Swap those sugary beverages for water, unsweetened tea, or even diet sodas. Small changes like this can make a massive difference over time. So, what's the takeaway? The key to better health isn't obsessing over whether HFCS or cane sugar is worse. It's about reducing your overall calorie intake. By focusing on mindful consumption and making smarter choices, you can take control of your health without falling for marketing gimmicks. But how do you put all this knowledge into action? Now that you know the truth, what will you do with it? You've learned that it's not about HFCS versus cane sugar. It's about the excess calories sneaking into your diet through sugary drinks and processed foods. So, here's the big question. Are you ready to take control of your health? Imagine swapping just one sugary soda a day for water, or a diet alternative. That small change could be the start of a massive transformation. The power is in your hands, and it's easier than you think. But let's not stop there. What other habits could you tweak to cut down on those empty calories? Could you replace your sugary coffee creamer with a non-caloric sweetener? Or maybe rethink that afternoon snack? The key is to start small and stay consistent. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every choice you make today brings you closer to the healthier, more energized version of yourself. So, what's your next step? Let me know in the comments. What's one sugary habit you're ready to ditch? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more game-changing tips like these. Your journey to better health starts now. Are you in?